What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Thursday. Well, we're going to start off today's show with a very sad note. Well, Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa were tragically found dead today. Well, their family believes carbon monoxide poisoning is to blame, TMZ has learned. So, the legendary actor's daughter Elizabeth Jean Hackman tells TMZ they're not sure, but they think the cause might be from toxic fumes. She added law enforcement found no signs of foul play, although Santa Fe County Sheriff Adan Mendoza tells us his deputies haven't ruled anything out and are still investigating. So the house is fairly modern. It was built in 2000. We do not know if there were any issues with gas leaks or if there were calls to service at the address. So Mendoza tells us when deputies performed a welfare check at the property Wednesday and found the couple's bodies, gas company and fire department personnel also responded to make sure there were no toxic fumes that would endanger deputies during their search. So Jean and Betsy were found dead at home on Wednesday along with one of their dogs, also dead after a neighbor raised concerns. Alright, so Elizabeth gave us more insight into Gene's life before his passing, saying he and his wife had been living in their New Mexico home since he retired in 2004. And when Gene walked away from Hollywood, he was done for good, spending his retirement painting. She also told us his favorite film was The French Connection. Alright, this is really insane, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe that Gene Hackman and his wife were found dead. I suspect that there was carbon monoxide being involved in all of this because usually when there is carbon monoxide being involved in all of this, especially when you are asleep, that carbon monoxide will immediately toxicate your lungs and then you'll die. And you won't even know that you're dead because you're asleep. And I believe that what could have happened, since that might be the case, is that Gene Hackman and his wife were probably cooking something in the kitchen and they left the stove on. And then when they left the stove on, all of that carbon monoxide got to go into their bedroom while they were asleep, and then they died. Or what could have also happened was maybe a leak could have happened too, where maybe there was, I don't know, a deform going on in the ceiling, a deform going on in the walls or something, where that gas was just sneakily walking in through their bedroom and then it affected them. Anything could have happened as to what caused the death of these two. And it wasn't just them, it was also their dog that got to pass away. So this is definitely very suspicious. I don't think that there was any murder going on. I don't think that there was anything awfully intense, anything that might have happened from someone else. Because as far as what I'm learning, nobody was in the house at the time of their death, and then there was no signs of blood, there was no signs of any weapons nor anything like that in their house. And then there were no signs of any vandalism either in the household. So with all of that being said, carbon monoxide, I'm pretty sure, was the cause of all of this, especially if law enforcement was smelling a bunch of gas in their home by the time they were arriving in their home. So I think that this is definitely a call and a huge alert to a lot of people out there that love to be cooking in their kitchen and then they accidentally leave their stove on because, like I said, if you're going to be doing that, hey, RIP, RIP. So, anywho, my hearts and prayers go out to Gene Hackman and Betsy's family, and this really tears me up. All right, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Abby Lee Miller. So Abby Lee Miller says she's doing her part for people affected by the Pacific Palisades wildfire. She's giving them free use of her studio so they can keep practicing and pursuing their passion. So we caught up with the Dance Mom star in LA this week and we asked her about her new push to help out the kids affected by the devastating fires in western Los Angeles last month. And Abby Lee Miller says she's letting all of the students from the Palisades studio that burned down in the fire come use her LA studio free of charge. So Miller says she stopped by the studio the other day to pick up some merchandise, and she met 9 dancers who couldn't have been older than 10, 7 of whom had lost their homes in the wildfire. So Abby said obviously it was a very emotional meeting, but added she found it heartwarming to see all the dancers there wearing leotards donated by local dancewear brands. So CAL FIRE said 6,800 structures were destroyed in the massive blaze that consumed more than 23,000 acres while it raged for a week across the affluent Los Angeles neighborhood. Okay, so this is really kind and this is very thoughtful of Abby Lee Miller to be sending out her studio to many of the people out there, especially the kids out there that are wanting to be dancers and that are dancers, so that way they can be able to still pursue their dreams, because that way this right here can actually open a huge way for a bunch of the children out there that want to become professional dancers in the future, that want to be professional dancers in reality shows, for example, and this and that. And I think that Abby Lee Miller really is the type of person that really understands all of that anyways, because she herself is a reality star, and she herself of course has worked with children. One of them was JoJo Siwa, because JoJo Siwa was with her on Dance Moms, I remember. And JoJo Siwa, by the way, is a really good dancer. She really has been killing it with all of those moves. So that's the reason to why I'm saying that Abby Lee Miller really understands. But I really think that if Abby Lee Miller is going to be lending out her studio, she's really going to have to make sure that she gets to be having all of the room of the world in that studio in order to be letting all of those kids use that studio to be using their dance moves, because we're talking about a bunch of kids. We're talking about a bunch of people. We're not talking about just 3-4 kids or 3-4 people, because what happened over in Los Angeles is very horrific, to the point that we are talking about a bunch of houses that got burned down. We're not talking about just 5 houses that got burned down. So that's the reason to why I'm saying is that there's going to be so many kids, so many people using that studio. And I honestly think that if Abby Lee Miller wants to be looking out for all of these kids, once all of these kids or all of these people end up using the studio, then I believe that she should definitely do that, because in my personal opinion, God forbid that they end up trashing up the studio and then Abby Lee Miller gets to be all going bonkers about it, and then she's like, oh my God, what do I do now? And you know, you can't be trusting just everyone to be lending your studio, you know? So there's also that. But anywho, I think, in my opinion though, that Abby Lee Miller, I feel like she was so lucky that her house did not get burnt down and that her studio didn't get burnt down either, because I believe that it's also in Los Angeles. And I mean, if that studio would have gotten burnt down, trust me, it would have been a whole nightmare for her, especially because I think that if there's one thing that she really preserves, if there's one thing that she really appreciates and cherishes, is that studio that she has. And especially because that studio, I'm sure, costs millions, and that studio is a very nice studio, I can already imagine. So anywho, Abby Lee Miller, you are very thoughtful, you are very kind, and you just keep on doing what you're doing. Okay, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Liam Payne. So Liam Payne's alcohol concentration levels have been released, shedding more light on his condition at the time of his death in October. So the National Criminal and Correctional Prosecutor's Office number 14 has released a report revealing the late One Direction singer had an alcohol concentration of up to 2.7 grams per liter in his blood when he fell from his hotel balcony in Argentina after a drugs and alcohol bender. So according to alcohol.org, a blood alcohol concentration of 2.7 grams per liter equates to 0.27%, a level that can cause severe symptoms like confusion, disorientation, and feeling dazed. So BAC levels of 0.3% and above can lead to alcohol poisoning, while 0.4% can be fatal. Okay, so the report also revealed Liam had cocaine metabolites, methylgluconine, benzolygluconine, cocothyline, and the medication sertraline and in his system. Okay, so anyways, this is really insane. I think that Liam Payne was really drugged by these people that were working in the hotel that he was staying at. Because I think that these people actually had a very ill intention to be doing stuff towards Liam Payne, because let's be honest here, a lot of these hotel employees, they have malicious intentions to be harming people, especially people like Liam Payne, for example, which happen to be very famous. Because these people that work at the hotel, they're either jealous of you, or they either just, feel like they are just having fun doing stuff to people that are staying in hotels like this just because you're staying in a hotel. And I mean, I think, in my opinion, it was very stupid that all of these people that were involved in this whole entire case, by the way, ended up getting their charges dropped because of this. Because I think that they need to serve prison time, okay? I mean, yes, Liam Payne was a grown man. He knew what he was putting himself into in that moment, that he was drugging himself. But at the same time, these people were the ones that lended him the drugs, and these people knew what these drugs were going to do to Liam Payne. So we also have to look at it like that as well. So anywho, I think that in this case, the justice system was kind of rigged. And I think that in this case, Liam Payne was really, really lost the moment that he had those drugs from those people, because I believe that he thought that these drugs that were given by these people were actually going to help him in a way, I guess, to boost up his depression or something, because of the fact that, let's remember that Liam Payne was going through major depression before he ended up drugging himself to death, and also falling off a balcony to death. And that's what I think could have been the case here too. So this whole entire case to me was a whole entire confusion, and it was also a whole entire taking advantage of situation. So we have to look at it like that. It wasn't just something very innocent, very like, oh my god, here you go, and that's it, and I didn't know this was gonna do something to Liam and blah blah blah. No, so yeah, we have to admit that, like I said, that the people in the hotel actually should be held accountable for their actions, and these people really had the malicious intentions to be doing such a thing towards poor Liam Payne. May he rest in peace. So we're gonna find out more, of course, in the coming months, probably, because of course I believe that all of this is still under investigation, So anywho, on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Rebecca Black. So Rebecca Black, as we all know her for that Friday song, which was released like 14 years ago. Well, Rebecca Black's out here shaking her butt, rolling in mud, and having a full-on reckoning in her wild music video for her new hyperpop track, Salvation, and you need to see it. Okay, so apparently Gone is the 13-year-old punchline. Rebecca's owning her freedom, slaying in the tiniest outfits and sexiest moves for the vid, all with a dramatic, liberating, religious twist. So she looks so darn good in the video, playing the young, glamorous wife in a Wild West town who inherits everything after her elderly husband kicks the bucket, and trust us, she goes hard with her newfound liberty. Okay, so the tune's upbeat, and it's more than enough to pull you right onto the dance floor. So this is really interesting that Rebecca Black is going over here rated R with her new music and with this music video, because she's like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna be known as this girl that is gonna be doing whatever the hell she wants to do, and I'm gonna be known as somebody that has a bunch of freedom, especially because that's how America should be, and that's how my life should be, and I praise her for all of that. Now I know that a lot of of people are going to be criticizing the fact that she is showing off her booty cheeks in that music video, calling her a hoe, a slut, and it doesn't really matter anyways, because at the end of the day, it's her body, it's her choice, and it's her music video. And there are many other artists out there that do the same thing anyways. I mean, example, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Shakira, you name it. So, I mean, why not this woman, Rebecca Black, who happened to be a very, very irrelevant artist for the past God knows how long? The only thing that has gotten her a little bit relevant is the fact that she released that iconic viral song called Friday like 14 years ago, but that's basically it. And I feel like now it's about damn time that she gets to be gaining back that relevance, and that she's going to be able to really, let the audience know that she is still an artist and that she is still killing it in the music business anyways. So I also think that Rebecca Black too is, somebody that is also trying to have fun too at the end of the day, because I mean, that's what music is about anyways. I mean, who said that music is very serious and that being in a music video has to be something that is very serious? Like, nobody has said that in their own damn lives. I mean, be creative, okay? And that's exactly what Rebecca Black is doing here anyways. And also, now that I'm hearing that this song is a dance floor song, I'm already wanting to listen to it, because it really seems like it to me that it's gonna be making me shake my booty too. I'm just saying, okay? Because if there's one thing that I like to do is to be shaking my butt in that dance floor like there's no tomorrow, and not really giving a crap about what other people have to say about me and what other people have to think about me anyways. And what it's really calling my attention here is that I think that Rebecca Black really wants that #1 hit by already showing that booty and by already, coming up with this really good dance song. Because if there's one thing that a lot of people want to see and want to, listen to, is to that big booty. And also a lot of people want to be listening to a bunch of that dance music anyways. So it's really sounding like to me that she really wants that #1 hit. And if she gets it, then congrats to her. I am happy for her, okay? Literally. But it would be literally a huge comeback for Rebecca Black, that is for sure, man. Whew. 2011 all over again, that's for sure. But anyways, that is it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's lovely episode of The Jose Show. Till next time, and peace.